the NWO is doing record numbers in wrestling as far as merch sales are concerned. It's the
Yeah.
hottest angle in wrestling, and
Yeah.
you are right in the thick of the action with these guys during in-ring promos and segments and ringside during matches. So you're getting a lot of visibility as a result of being part of the NWO. And, I've even heard guys in the group at the time say that it felt like being a part of the Chicago Bulls during their, championship run in the 90s.
Yeah.
But now here you are voluntarily saying, nope, I want out. I mean, was there any part of you that thought maybe it might be best to remain with the group because of their high profile position?
Marcus, to be honest to you, by that time I wasn't, it was kind of like my heart wasn't there anymore.
Mm.
I mean, I had, of course, here's the difference. I had a 3-year no cut contract, and I got paid progressively more for those 3 years. And I knew when those 3 years were up, I was done. I mean, I was done with the business because my whole life had shifted, to the most important thing in my life now was, let's open the doors. And all wrestling was for me at that time, and then going forward, was, however, I was known from my past, or, this is, I put it this way. I believe that God allowed me to have a measure of fame for a while. So, because he knew one day, instead of using that to promote myself, I would use it to promote him.
Mm.
And that's where I'm at today.
So the fame and all that stuff at this point, it was the money, all of it. It was all just kind of secondary to your faith and what you really wanted to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me any specific numbers, but if you had decided after this 3-year contract was up, like, okay, I would like to retire entirely, just not work anymore, were you in a position at that point where you could just have stopped?
Not really, but
Okay.
but what I did have, it's like I had faith that if I feel like I've been called to this, that God's going to open the doors, and He did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was traveling all over the country, and I think I went to oh gosh, where did I go? I think I went to India. I think I took one trip to India. I mean, and India. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's like the most highly. I mean, there's more. I think it's India. There's more people in that one country than there is in 3/4 of the world.
Wow.
I can't remember the number, and not a Christian nation at all. But I took Christianity, and I went with a group there, and again used and we even set up a ring and gave the people a show. But I would then the ring became my platform to share the gospel.
Man, pretty impressive stuff. Because again, I think a lot of people are going to look at that and look at the NWO. Even today, it's still selling tons of merch. They're like one of the top sellers. Tons of action figures, stuff like that, still centered around the NWO. So I think a lot of fans would look at you walking away from it and say, like, "What, is he out of his mind to leave the NWO?" But the fact is that you had a higher calling, and that's really admirable that you followed that path.
Yeah, well, and hey, and they're still making action figures of me too.
They are. So, hey,
another one that just came out. I said, really? Another one?
And by the way, WWE has the rights to Ted DiBiase and the rights to the NWO. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they made an NWO Ted DiBiase figure here down the road.
Wow.
Yeah. I would be willing to bet that they probably will.